up to the people? I'm back for a reason. If you clicked on the video, I meet you with greetings. Another episode of Paul My Back Podcast, a movie review podcast hosted by me, your host Sebastian West. Follow me on Instagram @_Sebastian West. A guy who turns on his camera and just blabbers about movies and gives his objective perspective, also biased and non-biased at times. Alright, that's me. Anywho, now listen, I've given people about a week. By the time this drops, I would have watched this film twice. Okay? Twice. Yeah, 2 times. It's none other than The Batman. Alright, I've watched it 2 times. The first time I watched it, thoroughly pleased, but I didn't want to be overzealous about dropping the movie review, so I watched it a second time to actually, am I just excited to see another Batman film, or was this a really good movie? That's why I watched the movie twice. I'll probably watch it a third time, by the way, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's the truth. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen Batman directed by Matt Reeves, salute to him for directing this film. It's starring Robert Pattinson as the Batman, Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle, Catwoman, Jeffrey Wright, Paul Dano, John Turturro, Colin Farrell, Peter Sarsgaard, just a slew of people in this film, right? I like the tone, the pacing, how gloomy it was, how dark this film was. It gave me the same scenery as The Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix. It gave me that look. I am one to enjoy when DC shoots films this way. I appreciate them. It's like The Watchmen. The Watchmen had that dark tone to it, and DC needs to stay in this format. Not so kiddie-ish, and just have that dark sort of feel to the film. It feels more realistic regarding Gotham. Like, it's shot in that. I appreciated it. It was always rainy. You felt as though it's a rainy, like, soggy day, and you just feel like nothing good is going to happen. I like that it didn't play too much into Bruce Wayne's living lavish sort of lifestyle. He seems more relatable, like a regular guy that just wants to help, confused about what he should do, and this is what he feels as though he can have some sort of impact on society with this particular city. Feels like he can do this. Robert Pattinson did a good job. Great job, great job, with all the backlash that we were hearing about him not doing this, not doing that, and for him to pull this off, it was phenomenal. Let's get into the film. So this is more of a introduction to Batman. Well, he was 2 years of doing what he's doing, being a quote-unquote vigilante. It's more of a detective Batman. I like the narrating he was doing, his talking about his insomnia, and about the world and how it's turning. The score was simply amazing, man. It was amazing. When the film ended, I was humming like the score after I watched it. Like, it was just the violins playing, the tone of the movie wasn't childish. Zoe Kravitz did a decent job as Catwoman. One thing I must say, listen, okay, she's a mildly attractive young lady, we get it. We don't have to see her in a tank top every film, fam. Like, I get it. She in a tank, I get it, but sheesh, I feel like she's a plant. Like, gotta throw her in the films with the tank. Ew. Nevertheless, she played a good Catwoman. Decent Catwoman to me. Of course, nobody can be Michelle Pfeiffer, but I think this was better than Anne Hathaway. Don't crucify me, alright? I just think she was better than Anne Hathaway to me. Alright? Pretty good. So, this follows Batman in his 2-year, he's been doing this for 2 years as vigilante. And the way, like, the music, it's when people looked up in the sky and they seen the bat signal, they were in fear. I liked it. You were on the edge of your seat. It was suspenseful. You didn't know where he was going to walk out of the shadows from. You had no idea. All the villains just knew he was somewhere, but didn't know how close he was to them. I like that suspense. I like the in one particular scene, if you guys have seen it, one particular scene where when he walked in, everybody's looking at him like, yo, what's he doing here? Like, and one of the detectives or one of the cops was like, you gonna let him touch this evidence? And he would just look at him silently. He would ask him, yo, so the gloves comment. He was like, yo, is he wearing gloves? He would look at him silent. It's just this communication. You knew that he was not to be messed with. Like, he had this understanding, this nonverbal communication. His body language was like, listen, look, relax. I know what I'm doing. I like that nonverbal communication. He didn't have to say much, but he got the message of what he was doing. The Riddler, played by Paul Dano. The Riddler, yo. Phenomenal. Same guy that was in Prisoners. If you guys don't know, go check out Prisoners. If you haven't seen it, it's a good movie. Paul Dano killed that role. He killed this role. This was it. The whole social media, I had 500 followers, and it was linked to them being him with this following, these guys listening to him, reading the live chat that they were communicating with him back and forth before he comes up with this quote-unquote master plan to overflow the city with water, to flood the city with water. That was a nice touch on like the current state of what things could be like with the whole social media incorporation. Nice little paid attention to detail. I like that a lot. I like how brutal Batman was. Like, it was, he was taking punches too. He was not like he was impervious to getting punched in the face. He was. But the way he was rumbling and just brute one strength haymakers, using the I guess it was like a grappling weapon or so, and you almost felt every punch that he was throwing when he connected. It was fierce, and it was as if like he was nothing to be messed with. You know what I'm saying? The Batmobile. Can we get to the Batmobile? Which it showed that Batman built this. It wasn't some vehicle that Alfred built for him. It showed him actually, brick and mortar, him putting in the work to build his Batmobile. And that scene with him and Colin Farrell when he was on the highway scene, beautiful, Maserati and the Batmobile. When you seen him, stomped the accelerator in the movie theater and it was vibrating, and yeah, this was dope, man. This was dope. The first opening scene when he subway scene, I call it the subway scene, where he rumbled these gentlemen with the half-painted faces, and he was just punching the gentlemen to like send them a message. They all scattered. Once again, nonverbal communication. Like, look, this guy's not to be played with. The Riddler in this cat and mouse game was grade A. Dropping breadcrumbs so Batman will follow, his path and lead him to this sort of circle that, hey, look, I'm gonna lead you to this, and this is where you get the final answer. We could play this game of cat and mouse between me, like that. I like that Jeffrey Wright played Commissioner Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright, was the only one siding with Batman. And Batman, he repeated this like, yo, you're not dirty, like you're a good cop. Like, out of all the people, you are the only one I could trust. Why? Because you're a clean cop. Dope. I don't think I have any complaints about this movie. It didn't even seem like it was 3 hours long to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I.e. me watching it 2 times. If you guys haven't checked out The Batman, go watch it. It's a nice piece of artwork. That's what I can say. It's a piece of artwork. I don't think that this... I'm hoping they continue along this line. So I hope they don't try to make it too goofy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just keep it this cutting edge like this. Leave it this way. Robert Pattinson, I was very apprehensive about him playing, Bruce Wayne and Batman, but he pulled it off. Salute to him. Oh, the last scene. I gotta get to the last scene. Gotham Square Garden. That scene when he was rumbling the guys, the terrorists that were all dressed up like the Riddler. Nice action sequences. I like that. I like the fact that Batman pulled out the adrenaline, shot himself with the B-12, and was just lost for a second. I like to see that. Was Batman and Bruce Wayne emotional? Yes. I think he was a little bit too emo for me. If that's my only gripe with the film, it would be that. Considering how this film was shot during the whole pandemic and things of that nature, and Matt Reeves couldn't be on set for some certain scenes, and people had to be separated. I think Robert Pattinson had the virus or the flu or whatever. He had it, so it was just a lot going on. And for them to release this product to the world and it turned out this way was dope. It was dope. I like the detective side of Batman. This is the first time I think we've seen this, if I'm not mistaken. So, very pleased. So salute to Matt Reeves, salute to Robert Pattinson, and all the other actors and the actress that starred in the film The Batman. If I would rate The Batman, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, 8.5 out of 10. So yes, go check out The Batman. If you haven't seen it yet, make your way down to the movie theater and go watch it. You'll do yourself a disservice for not watching The Batman. Alright? Oh, I didn't like the Joker thing. And I think that son from the Eternals. I think that's him. I'm cool. Can we get like Two-Face or something like that? We just don't need the front door to Joker. You know what I mean? If anything, we've seen enough Joker. We don't need the front door. We just got Joaquin Phoenix. Jared Leto, we don't need the front door to Joker, man. Give son a break. Let him take a break. Went on a tangent, but anywho, if you don't like it with a kick and like with a spin, just know that when you tune to this, the cloth is different. Remember, big shots, number little shot that kept shooting. Slow run is better than no run. If you don't like my reviews, cut me some slack. And if that ain't good enough, pardon my back. Tune in for the next episode of Pardon My Back podcast. I'll probably drop the movie review on The Sorcerer, because somebody in the YouTube comments told me to watch the film, and I did, and it was dope. That's it. Stay tuned for Pardon My Back podcast. It's me, your host Sebastian West. I'm signing out. Pardon My Back podcast. Salute.